And let's also take a look at how all of this global market action will impact our own markets this morning. Remember, this is midweek trading. We also have the Nifty Bank expiry today and as our power prep segment as well. Let's take a look at how the markets fared yesterday. There's a bit of a consolidation in the benchmark indices, both the Nifty and the Nifty Bank ending absolutely flat. There was no movement whatsoever. But the thing to note is that the pause comes after a very swift recovery that the indices made from that low that they made on the 20th of March. So if you take a look at that, the Nifty is up 3.5%, as is the Nifty Bank. So a bit of pause coming in there after this 3.5% recovery that we have seen in the benchmark indices. What has recovered even more though is the broader markets, and the mid cap and the small cap indices continue to outperform even after the Nifty and the Nifty Bank were consolidating yesterday. The mid cap index is up 9% from the lows of the 20th of March. The small cap index is also up 7%. So we'll have to watch out for that. And since the cues this morning are not very positive, we'll see if there is a bit of a pullback in the broader markets as well. Now, if you take a look at the sectors that did well, the realty index continues to outperform. It was up for the 8th day yesterday. The metals index also did well. So we'll see if there is a bit of a pullback there as well in both of these sectors. And the handover, as we mentioned, from Wall Street was a weak one. The benchmark indices ended lower for the second day running. The 10-year treasury yields reached the highest level since November, and the crude price is also at a 5-month high. So global cues also not very supportive. The Asian markets also are pointing to a weak opening, and the GIFT Nifty is pointing to a gap down start for our own markets, 125 points lower as we speak. So a bit of a pullback anticipated, but the index might find some support at lower levels. But now over to Vamakshi, who will list out the stocks to watch out for in today's trading session. Morning, Vamakshi. I'm sure it's a long list.
Well, absolutely, Hormaz. Let me first start off with JSW Energy. We have the company passing an enabling resolution to raise almost 5,000 crores. They've also launched a QIP, and the floor price has been set at 510.09 per share. Apart from that, keep an eye out on Ultratech Cement. They will be commissioning 2 new greenfield capacities totaling 5.4 metric tons per annum in Chhattisgarh and Tamil Nadu. Additionally, the company will also invest 32,400 crores towards ongoing capex over the next 3 years. Keep an eye out on HCL Tech. Its arm has divested nearly 49% equity stake in its JV with US-based State Street International Holdings. The arm has received proceeds of almost $172.5 million. Ramco Cements has commissioned line 2 at Odisha's grinding unit with effect from 31st of March, and with this the aggregate capacity has now increased to 1.8 metric tons per annum. Shriram Properties arm has received tax penalty order of almost 450 odd crores for assessment year 2018-2019. Sunteck Realty has leased a commercial building in Mumbai and will be receiving approximately 2,000 crores in annuity income over the next 29 years. Zee Entertainment also on our radar. MD and CEO Puneet Goenka will be implementing a voluntary 20% reduction on his personal remuneration, and this step has been taken in line with larger strategic and frugal approach that has been implemented across the organization. Anupam Rasayan has signed an LOI with Japanese multinational worth almost 743 crores, and MOIL is in focus on the back of an operational update. They have reported the best ever showing in a fiscal in FY24. Production is up 35%, sale is up nearly 30%. And lastly, let's also focus in on NALCO. They too have reported a record year. Aluminium, highest ever metal sale, and alumina refinery has produced nearly 21.24 lakh metric tons of alumina hydrate.
Long list indeed. Thanks a lot, Vamakshi, for joining in. And lastly, on the FNO update, then Mangalam is joining in. Morning, Mangalam. Respecting the levels, is the Nifty both on the upside and the downside?
Respecting the levels indeed, and the interesting part will be today the level at the lower end would be tested. The GIFT Nifty indicating a 125-point downtick, bang in the line of support zone for the market as well. The question is whether we see recovery from there or not. But yesterday, you know, the Nifty and the mid-cap index were two different beasts. If you look at it, the Nifty was marginally in the red. Those saw a recovery in the last hour of trade. The mid-cap index did a lot better, ended at the high point, the gain of almost 1%. And the Nifty Bank also outperformed in yesterday's trading session, outperformed the frontline indices. And that was led largely by HDFC Bank, which reported a gain of almost 2/3%. And that's a stock that one will be watching out for, the highest open interest, or rather the highest weighted stocks on the Nifty Financial Services, the Nifty Bank, and now the street is expecting an update as well coming in on the quarter for them. The FIs, they continue to sell in the cash market on the second day of this fiscal as well, 1,600 crore. But this time around, they made up for that by purchasing about 700 crores in index futures. So if you look at the long positions that they added, close to around 5,000 contracts, covered about 900 short contracts as well. So a net benefit of almost 6,000 contracts that led the long exposure slightly higher from 45% to 47%. Though again, the range that we're speaking about, 22,500 call on the way up, is seeing a fair amount of writing for a premium of 65 rupees. On the way down is the 22,400 put, which is equally active as well. For those who are writing these options, they are playing for a nifty range of 22,350 at the lower end to 22,550 at the upper end. Of course, the upper end taken out today, it is the lower end which will see an important move today as well. Nifty Bank is the one which is in focus, 48,000 call and 47,000 put, most active ahead of options expiry. Metal stocks saw a lot of longs yesterday. Let's see whether that gets unwound overnight because of the weakness in Wall Street. And Hindustan Copper, as we pointed out yesterday, has now entered F&O ban.
Plenty of cues to track. Thanks a lot, Mangalam, for joining in. 22,350, the level to watch out for on the downside for the Nifty.